Here we go. Yes, I froze. Deer in
I love,
headlights.
yeah, I love it. It's great.
Okay, cool. So we wanted to do a little intro to each other and to this offering that we're putting together, um, so that you get a sense of like of us and also why this particular offer at this particular time. And our hope is for, folks watching this that you'll get a clear hit, like a clear sense of like, yes, this is the container for me, or no, I don't think so, or maybe no, not this time. Because as we've been chatting about it, Natalie and I, we've been really feeling out how like this might not be for everyone. And there's a level of kind of preparedness or space that a person might need in their life to go into a container like this. So this is our little, um, what do we call it? Like the atrium where we'd like to welcome you and give you a little sense of what awaits inside. So um, Natalie, maybe I can just offer. Do you want to introduce yourself a little bit, and
Yeah.
why are you doing this with me?
um, so my name is Nathali Arostegui Romero. I'm an indigenous mestiza woman that does many things. Body worker, mystic. Um, I work with ceremony and ritual. And me and you have been working together for a really long, maybe 2 years now, or
Hmm.
kind of
Yeah.
ebbing and flowing our relationship. And which has been really nice. It's kind of been a flourishing and a blossoming, and just this really organic friendship has kind of emerged. And through that, we've been able to connect on so many levels, and the conversations we have are always so beautiful. And I feel like our work really aligns with each other and with what it is that we're trying to create in the world right now, because as we see, it's not an easy time to be in. And I think for me, the why we're doing this together is because we feel a call. There's a deeper call that I think has emerged over the past 6 months to a year in particular, that is asking us to move forward to start to create containers that are helping people to align with spirit and to really start to connect more deeply into their bodies, into community, into relationship, into the sacred temple, which is how you referred to it. And I know I do a lot of my work is in person. I do online work as well, and I know you do as well. But I feel like the more that we're moving through all of this, trying to find creative ways to be able to have more accessible spaces for people, because a lot of the time in-person work isn't necessarily as accessible for certain people, because now we're a global community, and we just you're
Mhm.
I wish I could be where you are, or you where I am, but unfortunately we can't. And so this is a really great way to make offerings a little bit more accessible, while also giving people the foundations for what it means to come together in a respectful way, in a humble way, to practice gratitude, to practice all the ways in which we're going to be able to navigate the difficult times that we're in right now. Um,
Mhm.
so I know,
Practice being alive.
yeah, exactly, because it's not easy, and it hasn't been easy, and it's not going to be easy moving forward as a collective.
Hmm.
The hope for me is to be able to offer supports and also receive the same supports back
Mhm, mhm,
to be able to navigate these times in a way that kind of creates more of a blossoming and more of an unfurling, and to really be able to connect to the forces that are here supporting us through these times, um, to bring more peace, to bring more joy, to bring more beauty into the spaces that we're in and that we're a part of and that we're trying to co-create. And we can't do it alone. And so
mhm.
for me, it's just a gift to be able to do this with you, because yeah, your medicine is wonderful, and I just love your energy. And I consider you a sister, and it
Mm.
just really brings me a lot of joy that we can do this together, and hopefully from this continue evolving into more projects, more ideas, to help support our communities. But yeah, that's a little bit of a why I
Yeah,
wanted. But yeah, share a little bit about yours, because we've spoken about it in the last couple of days, and I feel like the more that we talk about it, the deeper we get into the deeper layers of why it is that we're offering this and what's unique about this and what's different about this. Like you said, it's not going to be for everybody, and we don't want that to be to be the case. We want it to be for people who are called to be with spirit, to be in relationship, to be in community. So yeah, I'd like for you to share a little bit more.
yeah. I think the thing that's coming to me today is remembering like the first spark for this particular offering came about 2 years ago, and I when I wrote a like a little article called like how to be a death doula of modernity, or what it takes to be a death doula of modernity. And others have used similar terms or used that term. And what stays with me with that is that, like, I mean, I would say like generally my work is probably categorized in like the spirituality, self-improvement, personal growth world.
Yeah.
Um, but one of the like, I don't know, key differentiators, I think, is that my like kind of foreground is that we're in collapse. Like we are a culture on the edge of collapse. The even the planets describe how the eras of empire circle with the orbit of Pluto, which is 250 years, and the USS Pluto returns is happening. Um, and there's a whole lecture on that in the work in the retreat if you want to come to that. Um, and so when I think about like who I'm wanting to speak to, where I am on this part of the journey, it's like really trying to gather the courage to turn into that reality, to face that reality without numbing, dissociating, or like collapsing from the gravity of it or the overwhelm of it. Um, or being able to recover when we do that, um, and build capacity for both, um, like transforming through this time and continuing to dream like for renewal, and as well as like develop the skill of letting go and grieving and being with the what I'm imagining is going to be tremendous loss that has already happened, um, and is particularly acute in the communities that have always had less access to center. Um, but yeah, it's going to be an intense decade, several decades, and the ancestral tools of connection to community, to spirit, to circle wisdom, to earth tending, to having a felt sense and a way of moving in participation with the cycles of creation, with the um, intricate, elaborate, ecology of the visible and invisible world. Like these are technologies beyond like our SpaceX programs or whatever that I think are like truly going to carry us through this, what I consider a portal. Um,
Mm.
and so, yeah, I mean, so big piece of my why is because like I am kept up at night, wondering how we will make it through, and also having deep conviction about like the resilience and the goodness of the human person, in relationship to as a part of creation, not a superiorly good part, but that's the part that I'm embodied in, so I want to both be a part of and help others turn towards that reality from our goodness, like from our innate intelligence and from our courage, um, and in welcoming the fear and all the other things that may be there.
Mm.
So, yeah, I think that's what's been coming to me today.
I love that. The piece for me that I take away is the, you know, to be able to cultivate that goodness with each other and to be in right relationship with each other. And what does that mean? Like, how do we relate to one another, to our ecosystems in a way that, uplifts this innate purity within us, the essence, while also not bypassing all the
Hmm.
shadowy stuff and the darkness. Because I think, in particular for this retreat as well, it's like there's so many amazing, great speakers, um, and there may be things that arise that are going to be uncomfortable.
Hmm.
We want to welcome those things, and we want to have you and alongside us to be able to become more aware of those shadowy parts that start to emerge and start to be shaken through the container, not as a way to, try to get rid of them, but to really start to see ourselves and each other and what it is that we are trying to move through together, and yeah, cultivating that piece as well, being able to hold all of it.
Yeah.
um,
I mean, that seems like that it will be I imagine, kind of the microcosm of the bigger portal that we're going through. Like the shit is surfacing. Um, we don't even have to dig that deep. And that is natural, part of the natural process. Even, well, we might have distinctions about like what's human made and what's nature. I don't know. That's a conversation, right? But like there there is a process that we're in that bigger way that we can go through. We can practice it together, right? In these smaller containers. And these are little crucibles, for metabolism and alchemy and transformation. And it doesn't have to be like high intensity stimulus
Mhm.
to be pretty, to shake things up a little bit. Like, um it doesn't have to be an Aya journey.
No, definitely not.
Like I've been in bodywork sessions where they like just barely put their hands on my belly and like I'm already weeping.
Yeah.
you know? So we don't have to really probe that much. And that our hope, I think, is that will be welcome and part of like the creative
Mhm.
um spirit that we'll be moving through. And I wanted to mention one of the things I feel really excited about. Um, this has been sort of a creative project, like an expression of my hope for what I'm hoping to nurture in others. And as in, I'm imagining you all who are coming into this space are leaders and are anchors in your own way, whether that's as a parent or, a caregiver or the president of the United States. I don't know. What a dream. um, but that you have, like the way spirit is moving um, and creating in you, and there's one session where we're designating specifically as kind of an incubator space where you can bring your project, you can connect with peers, you can kind of workshop it or play shop it, and that is also going to be like cushioned by one of Natalie's offerings, which will kind of take us deeper into um, perhaps the underworld. We'll see where you're Natalie, where your ancestors and where everyone else's ancestors want to take them. But
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
no, I'm excited. I'm really looking forward to it. I feel like it's going to be a really potent container. I know my offerings usually tend to go pretty deep with some of the grief work and sound work that I do. Um, and I know that all the other guests that we have on board are, amazing leaders in their own right. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to call in the leaders within your own communities, healers, guides, protectors that really want a space to connect and to co-weave with us and with the container.
yeah. I think the last thing I'll say is just that you alluded to this, little Natalie, like the image that was given to me really strongly early on in the preparation for this was of the temple and like tending the temple. Um, and as I've gone through this and will get in like my anxiety spins or like busy bee modes, like I keep getting the reminder, like your job is just to tend the temple, like just adorn, like put the flowers on the altar, like tidy up the entry room, like just tend the temple. And those who feel called into that pilgrimage, to kind of step into a sacred place, into like the temple of your own experience, as well as what we'll be bringing together. That feels like the work um, that I've been doing. Like I really want the people who have like a reverence for this time and a kind of pulse on both the intensity but also like the beauty and the magic of this time. I mean, that's so much a part of like how I experience you, Natalie, and each of the facilitators who've said yes to that. Like I extended the invitation and the response came back really in alignment with um, that image and kind of that frequency, I guess.
Mhm.
Um, like even the first person who said yes, she actually ended up having to back out. Mutima,
Mhm.
she's an old mentor and friend of mine, but she was the first person to respond. And before she responded, I was like, I hadn't heard from anyone in like 4 or 5 days, which is not that much time, but like I was nervous and I was like, I should probably just cancel, right? Like it's not too late to pull the plug. And she responded and was like, yeah, I'll do it. And I was like, okay, I guess we're doing this. and and she has such a like priestess energy that I was like, okay, the priestess is responding to the call to the priestess.
Yes,
Um, so
I love that.
that call goes out.
Yes, yes, that's exactly it. I love that. I love that you followed the call and you're calling in all these other amazing priestesses and healers and co-creators because yeah, it's going to be a magical container and
Yeah.
that piece about tending the temple. I've been thinking about that a lot since you've been talking about it. And it's such an important piece of the practice of tending the temple and whatever that temple looks like for you.
Hmm.
You know, that could be your body, it could be your home, it could
Hmm.
be, your community, it could be the land,
Hmm.
mind, body, womb, whatever it is. Um, Having that a practice of tending to the temple without allowing the distraction of all the other stuff, the outcomes and the vision and the dream and the all what we want, and just like being rooted in tending,
Yeah.
I think is a really big piece.
And that word tending is, I'm hearing it differently as you're saying to it, let me to saying it to me. It's like, it's not owning, I'm not owning it. I'm not even building it. Um, like it's there and I'm just like scrubbing the tiles or whatever. Like I'm in reverence to the
Yeah.
space. And that's what I am hoping to be. So
Hmm.
okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We're excited to see you all at the retreat.
Hmm.
Whether it's your time or not does not matter. We send you off with so many blessings and so much love. And yeah, we'll see you soon. Hopefully, we'll see
Hmm.
you
Uh-huh. So it is.
there.